What is going on everyone, Nostalgia925 coming at you with another Explaining Digimon episode. And I must say that I am yet again extremely excited to make this video, not just because it is Digimon, but because, well, yeah, because it is Digimon. It's always fun to explore a fictional universe that can make us this curious and passionate to learn more about it. Let me give you a brief introduction of this video topic by showing you the comment that actually inspired me to make the video. Here is a comment of Dylan Lewis that wrote the following in the Explaining Seedramon video after a long conversation we had. Nostalgia925, also on the Angemon video, I am not sure if you covered this, but I read somewhere that the helmet that covers Angemon's eyes is supposed to represent blind faith, or like faith strong enough to not have to see. You just know and follow. A very interesting comment because I've always asked myself why is it that almost all angel Digimon have their eyes and even ears covered? For what reason? The entire Patamon line is covered, the entire Gatomon line is also covered, and it goes the same with other angel types like /Angemon, also known as Guardi Angemon. Many of those angelic type Digimon have their face covered, and we're going to explore why it is the case. And we're also going to check some of the theories you guys brought up. And speaking of what you guys brought up, let me first reply to a certain comment first and foremost. Andres Marrero wrote the following: "Please don't make it a competition, Nostalgia, just do what you normally do." Maybe to give you some background, in the Nostalgia925 community page here on YouTube, I posted this particular picture and I said that the best theories, along with the theories with the most likes, would be included in this video. Now let me say that you guys don't have to worry too much about the competition aspect. Sometimes I do enjoy to kind of poke people just to make sure that I get the maximum out of you, especially when I'm looking for some theories. But you guys certainly don't have to worry. All comments that can be useful will anyway be included in this video. However, I will still give a special shout out to the comment with the most likes. Now let us get into it. Oh guys, just in case you are new, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. In here we are going to explore the Digimon universe and, well, in fact, we are exploring the Digimon universe, and we are trying to give Digimon the attention it deserves. We talk about Digimon history, Digimon mythology, etc, etc. Please subscribe and join the team. It is really going to be more and more interesting, especially knowing that your comments can be featured in the videos, like you will witness in this one. Now guys, I must say I received about 50 comments concerning this topic. The topic of why angel Digimon have their visage covered. And trust me when I say it, I went through all of your comments, which might maybe mean that this video will take a bit longer than usual. But what can I say, if I did not love you guys so much, I am sure I wouldn't really have bothered going through them anyway. But again, we are one community, everyone's voice is worthy. And I don't think all of you are against lengthy Digimon videos, because Magnamancer even wrote in the Explaining Hex Blaumon Digivolution line video the following: "Make more long videos, I love long videos." Well, why not make a long video every now and then, huh? I noticed that there were two types of comments, one that were closely related to actual facts, meaning the intention of the designer, and the other about theories, where you guys used your ideas to come up with certain explanations. I will start with the facts first, just to keep you in suspense for the very interesting theories that came out of you guys, which by the way were very extremely interesting. Now let us start with the facts category. I will start with our sweet Marine Solar, who gave us a combination of facts and theories. She said the following: "Well, in the example of Angemon, he does have a cross on his helmet, which means he has always a cross before his eyes, so he metaphorically only sees his belief in good or God." But well, that's a lame theory from me. Maybe the designer didn't want to give eyes because he was afraid that someone might criticize him for blasphemy. Well, actually no, Marine, I don't think that your theory is lame at all, because designers always need to pay attention that they don't cross the line with their designs. Let me give you a brief example of a beautiful game that I actually still own, Zelda Ocarina of Time. A true gem, and a game that sparked a lot of controversy, if not the biggest controversial game in the Zelda franchise. It was reported that in the original Fire Temple music, you can clearly hear what would sound like an Islamic prayer. Now obviously, if we consider the definition of blasphemy, which is none other than the following: the action or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or sacred things. Well, we cannot really call that music a blasphemy, I guess, at least when we consider this definition. However, the song was replaced due to many complaints towards Nintendo from people of the Islamic persuasion. So Again, every designer will have to be at least a little bit careful to avoid controversy and blasphemy. And by the way, you can still hear the song in YouTube, just type in the words Fire Temple Song removed version and you will end up finding it. So again, Marine, your theory is certainly not a lame one. And because you mentioned the designer, let me link your comment to the comment of Alan Tang, who said the following. The meta reason for why they cover their faces is to make humanoid Digimon look less like actual humans, differentiating them from other anime characters. That way they are more easily recognized as Digimon. This was stated in an interview with Watanabe Kenji, the lead artist for Digimon. And this comment was kind of confirmed by Gohano Super CNZ. Now, I did some research and I found what I believe would be that interview. It happened in the Digimon game community website. I wouldn't really recommend you guys to go and explore that website if you're not familiar with Japanese alphabet. I did find a forum though, where someone presumably named Mark FBR translated that interview. I will make sure to link it in the description box, and I might maybe make a separate video analyzing that document. However, I did not read anything about Sir Watanabe Kenji talking about the design of angel species Digimon. I should maybe read it through, but I don't think it's going to be that necessary because I found many comments where people stated that it was indeed to differentiate the angel Digimon from actual humans. Manuel Trout kind of said the same as Marine Solar. He believed that it had something to do with the taboo of fully depicting God or holy beings in many religions. Spider-Man also confirmed these statements, and we were lucky to be given two more examples, one of Rosemon, a Digimon we already discussed in the Explaining Palmon Digivolution Line video, and the other example is the one of Lotusmon, a Digimon I haven't really explored, and quite frankly a Digimon I actually never heard of. Both Digimon have their faces covered, however I doubt that they would spark controversies as plant-type Digimon aren't really related to religion. I also personally think that they are so designed as to not look too human because, quite frankly, how weird would it be to actually have a Digimon that is designed to look exactly like a human? Well, even though some Digimon actually do look exactly like humans, but I can imagine why it may form a certain problem. Now Dotsie said the following: these masks have possibly something to do with the fact that he, meaning Angemon, along with most other angel Digimon with covered eyes, look almost exactly like humans and are protecting themselves from digital corruption. Lucymon is an evil Digimon while being humanoid and angelic, but his eyes aren't covered. Well, yes and no, I would say, and I think that it really is important that I end up discussing Lucymon in details, because straight up saying that Lucymon is an evil Digimon to me is too much of a stretch. Especially if we end up not specifying which Lucymon we are talking about. If you talk about Lucymon Chaos Mode, then yes, that one is actually pure evil. However, when we talk about the child version, don't forget, it did bring order and harmony in an era where the Digimon world was still chaotic. And we are talking about another time period where Digimon might have had a different design. I'm guessing that something probably corrupted Lucymon's ideology. It might be that it was just like what Dotsie wrote in the comment. It might be that Lucymon was a victim of what he or she called digital corruption. The Digimon became evil at some given point. And let's not forget, Lucymon is an ancient Digimon who passed down its powers to the Celestial Digimon, meaning Leilamon, also known as Ophanimon, who we discussed in the Explaining Gatomon Digivolution Line video, Seraphimon, who we discussed in the Explaining Patamon Digivolution Line video, and at last, Cherubimon, a Digimon that, well, is actually heavily requested, and I've yet to discuss this one, sorry guys. All three inherited Lucymon's powers, or at least part of its powers, and I assume that they also might have had inherited the possibility to be digitally corrupted and turn dark just like Lucymon. And maybe it is just like Dotsie said, that those masks covering the eyes and ears is meant for protection against digital corruption, because once you can use your senses at will, well, you are at the same time also vulnerable to illusions, to desires, etc, etc. Now for the last facts aspects before we go into your theories, Buzz Arrow Studios wrote the following: I heard a rumor why most human-like Digimon got their mouth or eyes covered. It is to maintain their monster side rather than looking too human. I do wonder what Rosemon, Ophanimon or Kazimon look unmasked. Well, Boss Arrows, we are lucky to have Alan Tang at our side, who provided us a link that shows how Ophanimon would look like without a mask. We know that it is a woman with blonde hairs, and I think that this one looks great. However, I myself failed to find a picture of Kazemon without the blindfold. Kazemon, by the way, is a descendant of ancient Kazemon, a member of the 10 legendary warriors who saved the ancient digital world in the period of Lucimon. I also did not find a picture of Rosemon without the flower mask. If you guys have a link whatsoever, please make sure to share it with us. Now, I will start with the theory that had the most likes. It was the one of Denro. My biggest congratulations. And the comment says, I think it is because angels are just like Lady Justice is blindfolded, so are angel Digimon. Quoting from Wikipedia on Lady Justice's page, the blindfold represents impartiality, the ideal that justice should be applied without regard to wealth, power, or other status. A very interesting comment, and for those who do not know, Lady Justice finds her origins in Roman and Greek mythology, and is a personification of the moral force in judicial systems. Indeed, she's blindfolded with the idea that justice should be applied with no regard to wealth, power, or status, but as far as I know, Lady Justice is a goddess and not an angel. As a goddess, I would say that she is entitled to judge and claim what justice is. Angels can't really permit themselves to judge, despite them having a free will. On top of that, I have often wondered what is justice. Take a look. The Bancho team are basically a group of rebels, and their leader, Bancho is said to follow its own definition of justice, meaning that if the group were to see something evil, they will eliminate that evil. Doesn't matter if we are talking about the Celestial Digimon, who they themselves, as Angel Digimon, have their own definition of justice, which is high probably not the same as the Bancho team. The rebel group are also ready to face the Royal Knights if necessary, a group who are considered to be the digital world's last hope, who also follow their own code of justice. And the worst is that they follow a supreme entity who decided to eliminate 98% of the Digimon population. So my question is, what is justice in the Digimon universe? Where to find it? And how is it that when those angel Digimon get corrupted or fall from grace, they end up using their eyes, making them rather autonomous in comparison to their angelic counterpart? What does this say about the god those angel type Digimon are serving? Is that god even as just as you'd initially thought? And maybe that god decided to cover the faces of those angels in order to keep them focused on their tasks. Who knows? I'm really trying to give you another point of view on this, Denro, but seriously a very good comment, because I can relate other comments to it. For example, Serb Angelmon, who wrote the following: faith in God is blind. When God leads you, you don't need your eyes. Well, yes, faith in God is indeed blind, and when God is leading you, you would not need your eyes, because from a religious point of view, we assume that God is just. But here is a problem: we don't really know who or what created the Digimon universe. If a human was responsible for its creation, that would make the human the god of the digital universe. And we all know that humans don't always have good intentions. You may be following that pseudo-god then, but you would be following someone who might have malicious intent. And as Trey said, maybe the mask has something to do with hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I found that a lot of those masks cover their ears as well. Just a thought. Imagine a human is the god of that universe, and that god has bad intentions and see a potential mean to, let us say, dominate the real earth with an iron hand by using the digital universe. And we know that the angels are working for said god. If we were to take into account the comment of Trace, wouldn't that mean that every distraction that might make those angels deviate from their tasks, wouldn't those distractions not be seen as evil? Maybe to give you another example from our real world, as civilians, we all assume that the government of our respective countries will act for the best of all of us, right? I guess in some way they can be seen as the gods of a country. Our government will or should act in a way that is considered just. Well, think back about the war between the USA and Iraq. There are more than enough sources that show evidence that that war was based on lies, exaggerations, and misrepresentations in order to convince the people to side with the camp that are for the war in Iraq. There are even government officials who now say that they deeply regret it, but that doesn't change the fact that many of the American citizens found that war to be legitimate, even though we now know that the war was based on lies. So in some way, we can say that the people were also covered in certain masks, only to make sure that they remain focused on one aspect. And that is why I always say you need to remain critical. That is the one and true way of science. Now let us get back to Digimon. You see, at some given point, the angels rebelled against their maker. We don't know why. Lucimon's case is rather clear by now, but what about those angels who have their faces covered? Why did they rebel in the first place? Maybe they had legitimate reasons. I'm kind of playing the devil's lawyer, by the way, but I think it is necessary because we always need to look at one story from different point of views. Koala Man said the following: I believe it means the angel Digimon are trying to not hear or see things that could corrupt them and fall from heaven. They possibly could only sense evil as opposed to seeing or hearing the malicious intent. That is why I think the angel Digimon cover their eyes and ears. So you would mean that the covering serves as a barrier or at least as a mean for protection against temptation, right? Now let me show you another comment that can be linked to this. Jupiter Wicks wrote the following: it almost seems to be dull and meek. The rest of Angemon is pure and bright, whereas the mask along with some patches are this metallic substance. It could almost be seen as punishment. It looks like an Iron Maiden. But as we look further into the Digivolution line, these angel-like Digimon get more and more armor, looking to be more restrictions upon them, as to prevent them from being able to overthrow a Tyrant Digigod. Thank you, Jupiter Wicks, because what you wrote here kind of fits my vision of a certain possibility that the Digimon creator might not necessarily be a good one. Mythology has shown us plenty of times that gods aren't always meant to do good. Look at Egyptian mythology, look at African mythology, look at Greek mythology, look at Roman mythology, or even Japanese mythology. Some of those are even explained in the Explaining Mythology series on this channel. Some gods have bad intentions and were therefore either banished or even sealed. And guess what? Just like Jupiter Wicks is saying, Angemon doesn't seem to have much armor, but Angemon is just a champion Digimon. A strong one, but not a threat if you compare it to its mega form Seraphimon, an extremely powerful angel type Digimon with a lot of armor, which could maybe be considered as restrictions as Jupiter wrote. Restrictions because the last thing a god or a leader would want is to have one of their most powerful disciples changing teams. And guess what? As I explained in the Explaining Patamon Digivolution line video, a Seraphimon fell from grace, switched teams, and became Demon, a member of the 7 Great Demon Lords, a group of 7 extremely powerful demons who govern the Dark Area. All 7 of them represent a particular sin. Demon represents the sin of wrath. Now ask yourself the following question: why does this Digimon represent the sin of wrath? And here's a small definition of the sin of wrath. Wrath can be defined as uncontrolled feelings of anger, rage, and even hatred. And wrath often reveals itself in the wish to seek vengeance. Demon is guided by wrath, has uncontrolled feelings of anger, rage, and hatred, and presumably is seeking for vengeance, which maybe explains why it is a member of the 7 Demon Lords. Have you ever wondered why the Digimon represents the sin of wrath? Why did it fall from grace? Why did it, as a Seraphimon, rebel against that being of goodness? Again guys, there are many ways to look at one subject. Yes, we see a demonic appearance. Yes, we see someone who looks evil. But this one was once an angel. It was once a being that you would consider to be good. Because, well, it has golden wings and looks righteous, but maybe it had legitimate reasons to rebel in the first place. Have you ever thought of that? Soul Queen 86 did add up something very interesting, and here is what our queen said. For a beautiful face can hide a vain heart. They cover their eyes and sometimes their faces to keep others and themselves from growing envious or lustful for each other, or cause other Digimon from becoming tempted. Or they didn't want to end up like Witchmon, an example of an angel being that is able to see but became distrustful towards all angelic Digimon, and is even willing to strike down anyone. Maybe just the whole justice is blind thing, since when you look at fallen angel Digimon, they can see now and see the dogma stigma. Now I'm very happy that you brought up Witchmon in this video, because the Digimon is a special case. I discussed this Digimon in the Explaining MEICOOMON video. Witchmon is what I consider to be a confused fallen angel Digimon. It had a role of observer. It observed all angel Digimon with eyes of distrust in order to prevent their fall. Because of its distrust, it could even carelessly attack and destroy them. Maybe the Digimon was too reckless in its way of doing so, because it ended up costing its function as an observer and was shunned. It fell from grace and ended up being confused and filled with nihilistic thoughts. Now, it ended up rejecting everything and can't even discern friend or foe. And that is why I say that the Digimon is a very confused and dangerous Digimon. It is unclear why the Digimon haven't rejected the Digimon. Why was the Digimon even rejected in the first place? If you have some theories, please make sure to write it down in the comment section. I have one theory already. I think that its rejection and fall from grace was kind of staged. Now I'll tell you more of it in another video. There was a little exchange of words in the Nostalgia Nat 5 community page which I want to bring up for those of you who are interested in angels. Majestic Gotitel wrote the following: "The mask probably symbolized that there is not an individual but a collective. Angels are like a military branch to group them and rank to. Zabania are a group of angels that bring punishment, and Kiraman Kadbin, meaning recording angel, are said to write and record everything from events, action, prayer and deed. The highest ranking of angels are the Sarim, sometimes called Angelic Prince. Something that people forget is that angels are not good nor evil but follow orders and will harm people regardless of alignments if given order to do so." Andres Marrero replied with the following: "That is quite incorrect. Angels are good, literally. That's what they are. Pure spirits of good. God gave them free will just as much as He gave us free will. It is in part the reason why the devil rebelled. He, like everyone else, was granted the ability to choose and he chose poorly. God isn't about control. If that was the case, He wouldn't have ever given us nor the angels free will. Sure, control and order are within His domain, for He is the God of hosts. He commands everything, but He isn't about control. The devil didn't want to be like God, he wanted to be God, and he refused to place himself in servitude, not to God nor to the children of light. He chose to rebel against God, and those that sided with him had to choose who they were going to follow, God or the devil. The angels always had free will. They are not drones or robots, they never were." Now these two comments are very interesting, and if I have to use both of your comments and place it in the Digimon universe, I would say that either of you are right. There are rankings, some angel Digimon are only obeying while you have others that show a free will, and I guess that it is mostly those who have a free will that end up being casted out of God's domain. Now, for the last aspect of this video, there was another type of theory that was mostly related to God and the Bible. It was also very interesting and worth mentioning. Sib Saberax, who by the way reached second place of the comments with the most likes, said the following: "In the Bible, the angels that are near God must cover their eyes with their wings so they won't be blinded by God's divine light." And this comment was confirmed by Wolf Queen 007, who said that angels not only need to cover their faces to protect themselves against God's divine light, they also need to cover their faces in front of humans because their true form is too intense and pure for humans to witness. And we are lucky to have Imperium 0214 on our side, as its comment left us with a biblical reference that explains how angels cover themselves from God's divine light. The following was written: "In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him stood the seraphim. Each had 6 wings, with 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory." Now you have to know that in the Digimon sources I've used so far, God is still a mystery. We don't know its appearance, we don't know how it may look like. And because of it, I doubt that the angel Digimon are covered to shield themselves from said divine light. Now I want to finish the video with another comment that will leave you on a cliffhanger. Archie88 wrote the following: "My theory is that the cover-up is a symbol of their rank. In Digimon X Ross Wars, the High Priestess of the now extinct angel group had a mask that held her power, but to get that power, the receiving Digimon needed to be promoted and acknowledged by the rest of the group. Now, fallen angel Digimon will more often than not reveal their faces to get admiration, like Lilithmon for example. So I guess angel Digimon must have this divine rule in order to not take advantage of other Digimon by their beauty as an order from God. Guess that's why even in his rookie form, Lucimon refuses to wear a helmet. It's because of his pride." This is very, very interesting, and I'm very happy to stop with that comment because there are so many things we can say about it and think about it. And I really didn't know that there was an extinct angel group. When did they go extinct? Why did they go extinct? This is so interesting. I must say, the more videos I make, the more revelations I see, the more curious I get. And I hope that it at least sparks your curiosity, same it does with me. Hi guys, this is the end of the video. I thank you all for seeing this video to the end. I had a lot of fun going through all of your comments, and I'm also extremely happy that almost any Digimon subject can have us talk for so long and even use different sources, may it be biblical or politically. We do what we do best, using our brains to understand the depth of the Digimon universe, and I'm so happy that you guys are here with all of us. Again, in case you guys are new, please don't hesitate to drop a comment and to subscribe to the channel. You have just witnessed that in this channel, all of your comments mean something to me, and I want to do my best to include you guys as much as possible in the process of making these videos. I'm learning not just from the sources I use, but also a lot from your comments. I receive different point of views, enabling me to admire something from another perspective. And I simply love it, the way we work together, and I want to keep it that way. So please guys, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button if you are new to this channel. We already discussed so much and only more is about to come. I also would like to tell you that I recently opened a Patreon page dedicated to this channel. I have no idea how this works, which is quite funny. If you can and want to, it would be great to fund this channel, as I really need to upgrade my gear if I wish to ever raise the quality of these videos and make it more appealing for newcomers. And let me not forget to say this, I realized that I have over 3,000 to even 4,000 comments of you guys, and many of them are requests. It is not that I'm ignoring them, it's just that I have so many requests and I'm just a one-man army to edit this video that I accidentally might gloss over one of them, and well, for that I'm truly sorry. So those who donate and have a certain request will of course get more priority. Now again, don't forget to subscribe, and if you guys are new, know that all my videos are placed in specific playlists which are always updated. That way you can always catch up on the newest and the oldest videos.